I will yield 5 minutes to my friend from North Carolina, Mr. Chuck Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gupta, do you believe that folks making more than $400,000 a year ought to be paying more taxes than they are today?
Yes.
Do you believe that folks making less than $400,000 should be paying more taxes than they're paying today?
I think you'll probably have to do that if you want to do things like paid family and medical leave and meet our nation's caregiving needs.
And so President Biden has told us over and over again that he intends to not ask folks making less than $400,000 to pay more. So it sounds like you disagree with President Biden.
While the president's budget may well stabilize debt as a share of GDP over the long run, I think to meet some of our nation's crucial needs, including climate policy, some people between $250K and $400,000, who others here on your side have already described as wealthy, should be able to contribute more.
And so I hear that you do disagree with what the president has been telling us about his tax policy.
I would not draw the line at $400,000.
I find it interesting. I'm going back to your testimony that you made comments regarding folks needing to work for let's just call it SNAP benefits. You said for people who can't prove that they are working or exempt, it would create a particular hardship. And you go on to say that many people might even lose benefits, even though they are working or should qualify, but then they fail to keep up with paperwork requirements. Are you familiar with what those paperwork requirements are?
Yes, and in Arkansas, when they tried this for Medicaid, it bumped off so many people who actually were complying that Arkansas itself is now acknowledging that they failed.
And so how often would someone have to complete paperwork to qualify for these benefits?
That can vary.
Monthly? The benefits
it can be to document work.
The benefits are established monthly, are they not?
Many benefits are established monthly. Yeah.
And
some you can get a tranche.
And so the answer to my question is monthly. Do you realize that folks that are working and raising their families and paying to feed their families today have to be involved in some activity? Plumbers are underneath houses working on fixtures and piping. Bricklayers are out all day. They're working with their hands, often in the sunshine. Welders have to do something all day to provide for their families. Factory workers have to be on a production line all day. And you're trying to tell this committee that for folks to receive benefits, it's a hardship for them to complete paperwork once a month? I'm not sure that I understand that.
Yeah, they're often struggling with substance use challenges, with violence, lots of challenges that maybe you or I are not facing, and the way that these systems are created
Thank you.
make it
And so you recognize that what we have in the Limit, Save, and Grow Act is that able-bodied, childless adults should work for their benefits, and you're trying to tell this committee that you don't believe that they should work for them.
The research shows that it's precisely giving the benefits that can often help them work, help their families do better. So people need health care, they need food to be able to succeed in the labor market.
Yeah. So filling out a form once a month seems to be
much harder than that.
A real hardship.
And often rejected for inappropriate reasons.
All right. Thank you for that. Ms. Grasler, thanks so much for being with us today. I appreciated hearing your testimony. We've seen President Biden promise time and time again that the middle-class families making less than $400,000 per year, wouldn't be affected by proposed tax hikes, and yet he is allowing the Trump-era tax cuts to expire. The numbers that I've read say that means families will be paying even less than $250,000, would be paying maybe $2,000 more per year. And I don't believe that this boils down to pure tax policy for this administration. It's the latest trend in policies with an ideological bend. In your view, does the Biden administration's $400,000 number send a message to Americans that at the end of the day, it doesn't pay to succeed?
I think it does, but more importantly, that $400,000 figure is not possible if you want to fund everything that the Biden administration wants to. And we've had statistics done at the Heritage Foundation that show you could confiscate every single dollar of somebody earning over $200,000, and you would still not pay for half of the left's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I see my time has expired, so I yield.
I think the